Every parent wants the best for their child. They want them to grow up confident, emotionally healthy, capable of handling life's challenges, and secure in who they are. But here's the difficult truth that child psychology research reveals. Some of the most common parenting behaviors, done with the best intentions, can actually create lasting psychological patterns that children carry into adulthood. This isn't about blaming parents. Most parents are doing their absolute best with the knowledge and resources they have. But child psychology has evolved significantly in recent decades, and what we now understand about how children's minds develop reveals that certain patterns many of us experienced ourselves as children, can shape a child's emotional world in ways that last far longer than we realize. Let's start with something that seems harmless, even loving, but the child psychologists increasingly recognize as psychologically complex, constantly rescuing children from discomfort or failure. When a child struggles with something, a difficult homework problem, a challenging social situation, a disappointing outcome, the instinct to immediately fix it, to step in and solve the problem, to remove the discomfort, feels like love. And in moments of genuine danger or overwhelming situations, intervention is absolutely necessary. But when this becomes the default response to every minor struggle, something important doesn't develop: the child's belief in their own ability to handle difficulty. Child psychology research shows that children develop resilience, problem-solving skills, and emotional regulation not by being protected from all discomfort, but by experiencing manageable challenges and learning they can navigate them. When parents constantly rescue, the unintended message a child internalizes is, "You can't handle this on your own. You need someone else to fix your problems." This doesn't mean abandoning children to struggle alone. It means the difference between saying, "Let me do that for you," and "This is hard. What have you tried? What else could you try? I'm here if you need help." One approach teaches helplessness, the other teaches capability. And the long-term psychological impact? Adults who grew up being constantly rescued often struggle with anxiety, perfectionism, and a persistent feeling that they're not capable of handling life's normal challenges without external support. They second-guess themselves constantly because they never develop the internal reference point that says, "I've handled difficult things before, and I can handle this too." The second pattern that impacts child psychology is more subtle but equally powerful: dismissing or minimizing a child's emotions. This shows up in phrases that most parents have heard or said. "You're fine, it's not a big deal. Stop crying, there's nothing to cry about. You're overreacting. Other kids have it worse." These responses come from a good place. Parents want their children to feel better, to not suffer, to develop perspective. But to a child's developing psychology, these messages communicate something else entirely. Your emotions are wrong, invalid, or inappropriate. Child psychology research is clear on this. Children need to learn that emotions, all emotions, are valid responses to experiences, even if those experiences seem minor to adults. A 4-year-old losing a favorite toy is experiencing genuine grief, even if an adult knows the toy wasn't expensive or can be replaced. A 7-year-old being excluded from a game is experiencing real social pain, even if an adult knows childhood friendships are constantly shifting. When emotions are consistently dismissed, children learn to distrust their own emotional responses. They learn that what they feel inside doesn't match what they're supposed to feel. This creates a disconnect between internal experience and external expression, a disconnect that often continues into adulthood as difficulty identifying, expressing, or trusting one's own emotions. The healthier response acknowledges the emotion while providing perspective. "I can see you're really upset about this. It makes sense that losing your toy would feel bad. Let's talk about it." This teaches children that their emotions are valid, while also modeling that emotions can be talked about, understood, and managed. The third pattern is one many parents don't even realize they're engaging in: comparing children to siblings, peers, or idealized versions of who they should be. Why can't you be more like your sister? Look how well your friend is doing in school. When I was your age, I never acted like this. These comparisons, meant to motivate, actually do something else to a child's developing psychology. They communicate that who the child is right now isn't good enough, that love, approval, or acceptance is conditional on being someone other than who they are. Child psychology research shows that children who grow up with constant comparison often develop one of two patterns, either relentless perfectionism and achievement seeking in an attempt to finally be good enough, or the opposite, giving up entirely because they've internalized that they'll never measure up anyway. Both patterns create psychological struggle that extends well into adulthood. Children don't need to be the best, the smartest, or a carbon copy of anyone else. They need to know that who they are, with their specific strengths, challenges, temperament, and pace of development, is valued and accepted. This doesn't mean avoiding all feedback or standards. It means the difference between "you got a B, but your sister always gets A's" and "you got a B. Tell me about how this class is going for you." The fourth pattern that impacts child psychology is using guilt or emotional withdrawal as a form of discipline. "You make me so sad when you act like this. I guess I'm just a terrible parent. Fine, if that's how you want to be, I won't talk to you." These responses turn the parent's emotional state into something the child feels responsible for managing. And while it might create compliance in the moment, children desperately want to maintain connection with their parents, the long-term psychological impact is significant. Child psychology research identifies this pattern as a form of emotional manipulation that teaches children they are responsible for managing other people's emotions, that love is conditional on behavior, and that they hold the power to hurt the people they depend on. This often creates adults who are anxious people pleasers, who struggle with boundaries, who prioritize others' feelings over their own needs, and who carry deep guilt about simply being themselves. Healthy discipline separates the behavior from the relationship. It communicates, "Your behavior was not okay, and here are the consequences, but my love for you doesn't change. We're going to work through this together." This teaches accountability without making the child feel that the parent-child connection itself is at risk. The fifth, and perhaps most pervasive pattern, is living vicariously through children, or projecting unfulfilled dreams onto them. This shows up when parents push children into activities, achievements, or paths that reflect the parent's own desires rather than the child's genuine interests or abilities. The parent who was never athletic pushing their child into competitive sports. The parent who didn't finish college making academic achievement the ultimate measure of worth. The parent living out their own social ambitions through their child's friendships and popularity. Child psychology research shows that when children sense they're expected to fulfill their parents' unmet needs or dreams, they often develop a fragmented sense of self. They don't learn who they actually are, what they genuinely enjoy, value, or want, because they're too busy trying to be what someone else needs them to be. This creates adults who struggle with identity, who feel empty despite external achievements, who don't know what they actually want because they've spent their whole lives pursuing what others wanted for them. They may be successful by conventional standards, but feel profoundly disconnected from their own lives. The healthier approach involves parents doing their own psychological work, processing their own disappointments, unfulfilled dreams, and expectations, so that their children can develop as separate individuals with their own paths. It means asking, "What lights you up?" rather than, "Here's what you should do to make me proud." Now, if you're a parent hearing this and feeling guilty, that's not the purpose. Every parent makes mistakes. Every parent has moments where they respond in ways they later wish they hadn't. The difference between patterns that create lasting impact and normal parenting imperfection is consistency and willingness to repair. Child psychology research also shows us something hopeful. Children are remarkably resilient, and repair matters enormously. When a parent recognizes they've responded in a hurtful way and comes back to address it, "I'm sorry I dismissed your feelings earlier. I can see you were really upset and that was valid." This actually teaches children powerful lessons about accountability, emotional intelligence, and the reality that relationships involve rupture and repair. Perfect parenting isn't the goal, and it's not possible. But awareness of these patterns allows parents to make different choices going forward. to notice when they're about to rescue their child from a manageable challenge and instead offer support while letting the child work through it, to catch themselves dismissing an emotion and instead validate what the child is feeling, to notice when they're comparing and instead focus on who this particular child is. Understanding child psychology isn't about adding more pressure to already overwhelmed parents. It's about recognizing that children's minds are developing every day through thousands of small interactions, and that being thoughtful about those interactions, not perfect, just thoughtful, can make a profound difference in the kind of adults they become. Because the ultimate goal of parenting isn't to create children who never struggle, never fail, never feel difficult emotions. It's to raise adults who can navigate struggle, learn from failure, and understand their emotions. Adults who know they're capable, worthy, and fundamentally okay exactly as they are. And that begins with how we respond to them when they're young, still learning who they are, and looking to the adults in their lives to help them make sense of themselves and the world around them.